Hey Life Coast, it's Holly and Pastor Mike, and we've got some great news. What's our great news, Mike?
We are going back into the school.
Yes, we're so excited to be able to see you guys on August 9th, Sunday at 10:30. Back into the school, and we are so excited that we get to be family, we get to be together. For all of you that are not compromised, we want you to come back, and we're going through in the next couple weeks safety with the leaders to make sure that you're feeling safe. It is going to be a family service at 10:30, so the kids are going to stay with us, but there's going to be space for them. We're going to have a wiggle room where if they're getting a little bit like crazy and they need a little wiggling, they can go to the wiggle area that's just going to be in the back where
Wiggle
moms and dad,
room, huh?
yeah. Sounds
Can I
fun,
go
huh?
wiggle? That's kind of weird, huh?
There's also going to be, just right off of the cafeteria where we meet, there's going to be a parent's nursery. So that way, if your little one gets fussy, mom and dad can take them in there. If a mom needs to nurse, she can go in there as well. So we're setting it up to come back a little bit differently than we did before, but to make sure that you're feeling safe, that you're feeling like you're ready to come back.
Yeah, so we've been talking to a lot of fellow pastors, pastors' wives, and just really talking about what they're doing. Some of them have been back in for a few weeks, and we've been observing, and we know there's concerns out there. Some of you are wondering, are they going to be safe? Are we going to be social distancing? Are we wearing masks? And some of you just want to come back and hug. Let's just all hug, and it's
There's
like...
not going to be any big hugging.
So you need to know during
hugs.
this season, we're going to send a message, okay?
Yeah.
We've got a safety guidelines we're putting in place. Some of those are required by the school. And since we're meeting in a school building, we have to adhere to those guidelines. But some of them are simply ones we feel the Lord putting on our heart to send the right message of care and value to each other. Because you may not be afraid, but others certainly could be afraid. And so we are going to have a guideline. It's available on our website. A few of those guidelines, as Holly said, are social distancing, no handshakes and hugs, air hugs and air high fives. Our guest services team will help you through that. Don't come running up to hug us, because we're going to let you know air high fives, because during the season it just makes so much more sense to send the message of care and value for each other. We are going to ask if you could wear masks from your car to the seat, to the worship in the service, just to make sure everyone feels comfortable, so that our teams are all going to be wearing masks, so you won't feel like you're standing out if you're wearing a mask. But
we'll even have some masks there if you don't have any masks. But I just want to read it what Mike said. This is to love people, because a lot of people, they're just not going to come back to church if they feel like in any way they're not safe. So those of you who feel like, I've got all the faith in the world, I'm not worried about getting sick, you know what? It's not about that. It's about loving people where they're at, and also making sure that those that are somewhat compromised, I'm one of those with some heart conditions. I want to feel safe. So I'm comfortable with people wearing a mask. I'm comfortable with the air high fives and the air hugs.
Yeah.
And so we want to just love people. That's what this is about.
So, and we will have those procedures. When you come in, you're going to have to get your temperature checked, because that's a school requirement. We're going to ask you some questions, but we hope you'll wear a mask from your car to the seat. Once you're in your seat, you can take it off. We can worship together, hear the word together in service, but afterwards we'll put your mask back on. And again, as Holly said, this is not a faith issue. Okay, this isn't a freedom issue. It's like, hey, you're losing our freedoms. This is a care and a love issue. We want to make sure we're loving each other enough through this season, and then once it's over, we'll be fine. We'll go back. But for right now, this is what you're asking to do. We'll have social distancing in our seating. Okay, we're not going to be crammed in like this. Pastor Jeff has worked out a great seating plan where keep us distant, and we're also going to have some family tables where if your family's coming and you want to sit at the table because your little ones want to color, and we'll have some projects and activities for them so you can pay attention while they're doing their thing. We've got all that arranged for you in the service. So I know some are like, you mean my kids are going to be with me during the service? Well, yes. And
Awesome!
That's
they get to
great.
worship with you and talk about the sermon afterwards together. But
I mean,
there will be some little activities at the table to keep them busy, and the wiggle area, and the parents' nursery.
Yeah, Holly and I firmly believe that children, sometimes they need to see their parents worshiping the Lord and singing and those kind of things. So it's not going to be a bother. We'll do our best to give you some activities, but bring your kids. So
we'll also have sanitizer available, and so you all know the whole place is sanitized before you get there, and after we leave, it's also going to be sanitized. So in that regard, we're totally safe.
Right. So we hope that you're praying, that you're considering coming to August 9th. All our teams are making the right preparations so you feel safe and comfortable. Again, if you're compromised in any way, the live stream will be running at 10:30, so you can stay home if you need to. But if you don't, we'd love to have you back out and enjoy services with us. Okay, so again, as we've said before, we understand that church can feel disconnected. It's been a few months, and we haven't seen each other. We haven't worshiped together. Everything's been electronic, and that's a little sterile. That's a little not the same. So now's the time we feel that God's bringing us back together because He's given us a calling and a mission here in Palm Coast. And we need to bring us back together and get us focused on that mission. And August 9th is the time to do that. So we pray that you'll be praying for Life Coast, for our safety, for protection, that the Lord will protect us as we re-enter the school and get refocused back on our mission together.
Love you guys so much. Can't wait to grow with you, be with you, and reach this community with you together. Love you.
See you later.